So we've had 3 cards jump out: the third eye chakra, the destiny, and the patience. All technically quite big cards and dealing with major arcana situations, if you like, even though this one is a chakra energy point on the body. So the third eye is up and through here in the forehead, or right where the seed is growing through this person's mind and up and out into the cosmos, blooming and blossoming where it gains knowledge, esoteric, celestial information. And that is the energy that we started your reading with and the messages that came in. So for a lot of you, this might be about tuning into your higher self, into the collective conscious or celestial realms, raising the vibrational frequency around yourself, so that if there are any periods of feeling afraid or alone or dark or isolated or unknown about outcomes or timelines, then tap into this energetic field, which will help to provide you with answers, because it is your higher self, it is your greater awareness, it is celestial answers. And this comes in through the third eye and connects with the pineal gland, which is also connected to the crown chakra, which is the Sahasrara. You next have the Destiny card, the Wheel of Fortune. It has come out a little bit this month, and I think it makes complete sense. It's one of the biggest cards there is, and oftentimes when life is going along fairly stably, the Destiny card doesn't come out very often. But I think it is at a point in time at the moment where it is really active, because a lot of things are changing for a lot of people. But part of this is your destiny. It is your time to make decisions, to take a stand in the road, to decide, do you want to go left or right? And this usually happens to us when it comes from a higher place than just everyday actions or activities. It comes from a deeper level of your soul, of a further distant realm or a distant plane or a distant energy field or source. It can indicate a change at many, many levels of your life, and indeed through past timelines and past lives as well. And we know that this point in time in the 2020 year, we have had a lot of karmic energies around us. So there have been situations for people in the here and now, but also in other energy dimensions where karmic issues are playing out and being freed up or removed or changed or altered in various levels. So you may feel this at a heart center where she's holding her hands over her heart. You may feel a lifting or a relief of the heart. You may feel as if there's an energetic connection going on in the heart, and it's drawing you back to issues from the past, or to people or connections or relationships or events that happened in the past. You may find yourself rethinking about them or connecting about them. Some of these might be even past lifetimes, so that you are left in a feeling of more unknowing what is going on with your emotional status, but knowing that you're not always in the present here and now and can't quite tap into it. So the depth of the Destiny card or the Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune, can be very expansive, especially in times such as what we are currently in. I've been saying to people, it's just very hard to put your finger on. Some of you will know what you're feeling and experiencing, and it will be easily understandable for you at this dimensional level. Others of you will just feel a strangeness around you and a strange feeling coming over you in certain aspects of your life, whether it be your finances, your job or career, or your health or relationships or spirituality, or things that you are frightened of or afraid of or in awe of. There will be this background change, and you may not necessarily know why, but that's because through all of these circle of life energetic vibration fields, things are happening. Events are taking place where freedom, and I'm trying to think what else you could word it as, freedom of the soul, and maybe a better positioning for the soul to feel more complete or more happy or less threatened. Some of these things are happening for us at this point in time. It's almost like being able to reconnect with fragments of the soul that have been traumatized or been left behind, or that you haven't wanted to be connected with in the past. So you feel in a little way a bit more sense of completion. Then you received the Patience, which is the Hanged Man, and this is also about a destiny change and pondering, do I go left or right, up or down? Why am I feeling these new murmurings in the background of my mind or soul about a direction or a place I should be visiting or traveling to? This can mean a big change in life. It can mean changing relationships up and out, jobs, career, choices, options, health modalities, spirituality, conceptions, anything again. So these two cards on their own are very, very powerful, and they're cards of freedom, I think is a really good way to word it. So there's a degree of freedom coming for you. And I think this is when I said I'm up in space, and the space creates darkness. And some of you could feel there's a darkness, or you don't really know what way to go or what's going to happen. But this is actually an illumination, and that if you keep going and travel further, you will find the answers. So this can also represent a time delay with the Hanged Man. So timing might be in play. And I've said before, this can be a timeline, such as past life issues coming back to reconnect here with the soul and reinvigorate the soul or uplift it for various reasons. So a powerful way for you guys, Sagittarius, to start the reading. And I didn't think it would be anything less because of the way we moved in with that great gentle presence, all presence of darkness, and or space creates darkness. And if you see, all three of those cards have the black border around them, and that is the darkness perhaps that we were merging with. So number 9 is the 9 of Pentacles, which is a benevolent card of prosperity and harvesting, and it can be in the material realm, which can be financial. And if it's not financial, it's gratitude of the physical aspects in life, such as social gatherings or friendships or harmony or balance in our base chakra area of life. And that's the home, the foundations. Sometimes it can also represent jobs and careers. Now, I'm not sure to what degree this is panning out for people at this present point in time, because we know that many jobs changing the structure, changing the outcome because of the timeline that we've crossed over into. Some of you may find that you have a material harvest at this point, especially if you are working in sectors globally that the population are in need of, such as the health sector or the food sector or the delivery sector, getting a trade and export. So some of you, your jobs may be safe, and you may even find that you are busier than normal. And for others, this may not represent your job, but it may represent a material harvest or bounty coming to you through a more distant field. And while we talked about the fact that there was space or darkness around, the opposite of darkness is light or the sun, and that's what's emanating in the background around his aura and into his head area, where he picks up the messages from the space arena. So some of you, this could just be growth and understanding and a feeling of acceptance or awareness about the harvest that you have. It generally bodes quite well. So I'm not sure what or where these harvests and benevolence will be coming from, but perhaps at a deeper level we learn to appreciate what we actually do have and begin to really show respect for it, no matter what it is that you have independently or individually. It is a time of rest and rejuvenate for many people. And when we rest and rejuvenate, we can find many different perspectives of life. We can often find answers that we didn't know we were even looking for. We can find answers in the things that we were wanting to know more about. We can find connection to our soul, to our soul's journey, to our physical body, to our higher self, and to collective consciousness. This card will often turn up when it is time to take some time out. And being at one in areas like this, with greenery, with trees, with Mother Nature, can be very beneficial and calming and peaceful. And as I said at the beginning, I felt a sense of peace in the reading. And even these two guys who actually look very alike, they almost look like the same person, with their hands out in gratitude or in receiving something. So I do feel for a lot of you, you are receiving either ideas or feelings or emotions or completion or understanding or awareness or something at this stage. And it may be when you are in times of gratitude or solitude, or when we do this growing, which is what we did talk about in your message at the beginning. Some of you may find that this rejuvenation time or rest is essential, and it may be because you have felt a bit run down or a little bit tired or stressed. If this is the case, then do take some time out, even in isolation, and connect with the highest vibrational energies that you can. Some of you may have an issue with your head at this point in time, because that's what this card often resembles. So there could be headaches or problems within the head, and it could be for some of you a virus-like illness that goes on. And for others of you, there may have been or might be in the future planned surgery or some sort of surgical incision in your body. It might be that you've cut yourself and need stitches or something along those lines as well. Can happen when that card is around. Just another one or two here for Sagittarius out of this deck as we prepare to move into the next deck for them. No, we're not doing all of those. Okay, well, this one jumped out. Memories of love, which is really lovely. And this one has come out a lot as well. Now, I think this is a really good time to focus on the memories of the positives in life, the happiness, the harmony. And, you know, again, I'm seeing hands being held out together, cupped in appreciation and support, nourishment and love. And these hands have also started showing up in the last couple of readings. So there's something about feeling nurtured or supported for humanity, and also for the individual, for yourself. So if you are feeling lonely or isolated or worried about the financial future of your life or the life of your family or your community or your neighborhood or your country, we must focus in this type of energy and envisage success and support and nurture from our brothers and our sisters and ourselves towards others and ourselves as well. Some of you may reconnect with people from the past. You may do this even online, Skyping them or getting in touch with them. And some of you may be planning events for the future about reconnecting with people from the past. Some of you may even find that an old love reconnects with you at this point in time, which could also bring about these feelings of gratitude or feeling positive about certain aspects of life. I'm not going to go through all of these ones for you guys. I'm going to put this deck aside. We will now tap into the next deck of John Holland's. These cards are called Spirit Messages. So he's doing well this month, John, with his beautiful connection to the spirit world through his decks of cards, all of which I think are really lovely and have deep messages. This deck is quite of the spirit world, a lot of it. And I find, as I've been saying to a lot of people, that as we move into towards Easter time, the veils do thin and we can connect very closely with the spiritual realm of life. So sometimes you can see flickers of light, you can see beings around, or you might experience noises like doors closing in your house, electrical anomalies and things like that. And that's because when the veils are thinned, it is easier for the spirit I'm not sure if spirit's the right term, but it's easier for the other dimensions to make connections with us because the veils are thinner. So it's not so difficult for them to get in touch with us. So be aware of that as April comes around, and see if you yourself get any personal messages or signs. So we had 3 that came out, so let's see what the first one is. Be proud. It is time to celebrate all that you've achieved, all that you are, and all that you will become. Every once in a while, it's important to stop and acknowledge what you've achieved and to be proud. So again, I think that's just if there's any self-doubt about anything, or worry, or feelings of anxiety or unsurety about where we're headed, take it from this step. And that material harvest is a great card to look at as well, because it is time to celebrate, and this is a celebration of the successes of life, and it is important to remember that. And if some of you have been stopped halfway on your path through something that you have been aiming for, or a goal that you have been trying to achieve, and you feel it has been stalled, it's temporary. So go back to focusing on what you have achieved and how far you've come. And this could be part of the message about going back to review something and to not start over, but to uplift this again and take into consideration how far you've come, and acknowledge that you had the ideas or the concepts or the energy or the nous to be where you currently are. And nothing stays the same, it constantly moves. So if there's something that you wish wasn't the way it was at the moment, it too will change. Let go. Once you let go of the outcome, you'll be able to release all the emotional constraints that have held you back in the past. Trust in the higher good and guidance of spirit, as we have only your best intentions at heart, and will do everything in our power to protect you. So if you are holding on to something that you're too afraid to let go of, or it's turning into an avenue you didn't want it to, or you feel it's out of control, or you've lost control over it, regardless of what it is, whether it's a health issue, whether it's a relationship issue, or a financial issue, or a feeling of your spirituality or direction in life, let it go. These are changing times, and we are emerging, and we are growing, and we are walking into the next position. So remember that space creates darkness that is actually an illumination of the unknown. You may feel as though you are floating through time or your life without an anchor firmly tethering you to the reality or the ground. See if you can connect to the calm within a void, as it has a surprising answer. So just let go, and it will take you forward, and you will find answers. And trust. So be proud, let go, and trust. There's a whole bunch of messages there about support for you, and the fact that you are on this journey, and you must be somewhere in the middle of it, or in the steps of preparing yourself to go through the rest of this journey. While your logical mind is dictating a supposedly clear direction, your soul's inner guidance is urging you to follow an alternative path. The logical path may be the one you consider safe and more familiar, but you could be missing out on boundless opportunities and so much more. And that takes us back to, of course, the Hanged Man and the Destiny card. So if you are finding these changing times or ideas or issues or situations in your life confronting, have some trust and some faith, and let go, and also be proud.